What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to talk about the good and the bad about gentrification. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, we family, right? Holler. People, gentrification. Gentrification. I'm beginning to see why gentrification is actually a good thing. Yes, I know that with gentrification comes costs going up, comes levies going up, rents, rates, taxes, you name it. I totally, totally understand. Trust me, I was against gentrification, totally against it. Now I see why gentrification is needed because once clean, flourishing areas are now being run down, run to the ground by people who don't even care about the neighborhoods in which they live in. Yes, everything's got its good side and its bad side. So let's talk about the good. We all love cheap things. Even the rich love good cheap deals. Everybody loves cheap and or free things. Not everybody loves free things. Like I, for one, I hate free things. I like working for my things. If it's free, then what did I do to deserve it? If I didn't work or do something to earn that free thing, then I don't want it because there is nothing free in this world. Because anything that you're given for free has something attached to it. You may not see it now, you will probably see it down the line in later years or later months. But pre gentrification, we live in neighborhoods that were once, let's say, middle class or upper lower class. And then certain certain elements move into these neighborhoods. And then all of a sudden, these neighborhoods look different. These neighborhoods look like something out of a movie that looks like the city is being designed for a horror movie. People, imagine imagine a suburb where it's clean, tidy, where there was a shop right? These are the telltale signs. Or where there was a Pick and Pay, or where there was an F&B bank, or where there was. Then over the years, you find that the businesses are moving out. The big businesses are moving out one by one. The shop right turns into a U-Save. That is already a sign that the demographic, the finances, the buying power in that area are dropping. And with such activities on the downward spiral, in moves syndicates that then exploit those down cheap areas. You know, when you have a neighborhood, a neighborhood that is full of people that have walkers, street vendors lining the streets. Now I'm talking about on the pavement. There's not even a place to walk on the pavement because it's lined lined with street walkers and vendors, right? I'm talking about an area that used to be solely, fully, wholly Africans only, to now going to be so diverse as having every other African language on the continent being spoken in that neighborhood. I'm talking about clean buildings that have now been reduced to condemned status. I am talking about people fixing cars on the road, so to speak. Now we have roads that are laced with oil spills, burned tires on the roads. I'm not talking about people protesting or anything. No, people literally just warming themselves, burning whatever they're burning, and for fine for this. I'm talking about dumping, illegal dumping. People just putting sofas and unwanted discarded things right at a robot intersection. I don't know, for the city council to take and pick up or something like that. I'm talking about abandoned buildings being run over by undesirables, homeless people hanging out everywhere, parks. At least now the parks are being reclaimed by the city council. Thank God for that. I'm just talking about all round degradation. And when you see that happening in your neighborhood, it becomes an area of concern. Because let's be honest, we may not like the fact that gentrification comes with expenses, but gentrification is a way to clean up these failing areas. I mean, if gentrification isn't implemented, the status quo of degradation will remain and things will get even worse. I mean, we couldn't care damn if we were living in cockroach and rodent infested dwellings. That's not our problem. The government must fix it. That's not our problem. We live there. But guess what? It's not our problem. They must come fix it. We are so accustomed to getting things for free, for nothing. We're so entitled to things that are not even ours, that we're not even supposed to be entitled to, but we entitle ourselves to those things. When last did we as a people decide that we want to clean up our areas? We don't. We see things going down, we don't care. It's not our business, it's not our problem. Guess what we do? We walk past, we look away, we turn a blind eye. And the next thing you know, crime increases. And guess what? We'll just tweet away, we'll just write away, we'll just blame everybody else, shout from the rooftops, crime, 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 crime. There. How many areas do you know that people used to say, wow, this area used to be, yeah, then what happened? Oh, well, the foreigners moved in. And that's true. Normally, when foreigners move in, they drive the prices down. They just, bruh, they just bring that mentality that this thing's got to be as cheap as possible. It's got to be. I mean, I'm not saying that as South Africans, we don't also do run things down. I mean, like, as South Africans, mainly we know for open spaces and we run and we take shacks and spaces. And I'm talking about areas where shacks cannot be put up. So you won't really find South Africans moving in into buildings because South Africans want cheap things and they all right. But we get foreigners who come and they take over buildings, but then they divide these buildings. I mean, it can be a one bedroom, but when you it can be a one bedroom or a bachelor, right? When foreigners get into a bachelor's apartment, for example, they divide it. All of a sudden, you find it's got 3 bedrooms because of the way they divide it with curtains and cupboards and whatever. Just a bachelor becomes almost like a 3 bedroom house. And you just think to yourself, really? So Cape Town is having that problem at the moment. Cape Town is having these shacks that are just mushrooming everywhere. These foreigners just occupying spaces and buildings, running them into the ground, just having it just looks ah, people. And we just look at the government and the city council to fix things that we clearly see with our own eyes that certain things we could actually stop as a neighborhood collective, but we don't. We can't. We see it, we look past, we don't care. Do you ever question sometimes if you in your own neighborhood, you see new faces? Do you ever bother to think who these new faces are, or you just don't care? You see, there's so many new faces in my area, right, where I live, and it's hard to even, it's hard. It's hard to even fathom where all these people are coming from. Are these people trafficked? Are these people here on holiday? Are these people here to stay? Are these people from neighboring towns, countries? Are these people from the Eastern Cape? Are these people in here? The languages, there's so many different languages. You just assume everyone is from Congo. You assume everyone is from Nigeria. You assume everyone is from Zimbabwe. You just assume, and the languages in Sokala are just so many. You don't know where the people are from. You just see new faces popping up every day. It makes you wonder, are we safe as South Africans? Is the only way to safeguard our own areas, is gentrification the only way? Because I can tell you now for free that areas that do not experience or go through gentrification, those areas experience extreme degradation. Because once people smell, hear, or see any sign of early degradation, people pounce on that area and they milk it for all it's worth. And what drives that is a sophisticated network of people who occupy condemned and aging buildings. All right? It's people who use street corners, pavements as business opportunities. It's people who spot a gap in the market and exploit it for commercial and financial gain. And in doing so, those people put an entire area at risk because not only do they bring undesirable activities into the area, those people also have a tendency to bring violence to that area that previously never knew any kind of violence. There's an area called Parklands in Cape Town. Parklands was such a beautiful, and it still is by and large, still a beautiful suburb. But Parklands Main Road at nighttime, you don't think you can make it past. I don't think you can make it past the Pick and Pay, going anywhere you want to go late at night. Parklands has become a hub of activity, of undesirables. But hey, who am I? Where am I to say that, right? I'm just me, little old me. You know what I'm saying? So, is gentrification good or not? I feel like gentrification is a very good thing and a much needed thing. Now that I've seen what degradation and unlawfulness or what lawlessness can do to a society, to an area, to a neighborhood, to a country. It's sad, but that's the reality, guys. You could never appreciate, understand until you see something get transformed from an ugly duckling to a swan. And only then will you appreciate and understand why it had to go through the transformations that it has to go through, you know? So, as much as we want to look down at the negative side of gentrification, we got to see the positive side of it, because with gentrification comes cleanliness, all the rot, all the decay, all the undesirables are taken out. That's the only way to do it. Because if we don't gentrify areas, excuse me, those areas will be targeted by undesirables. And with that comes a lot of undesirable activities. And we will only wake up when those areas are hit by something that we no longer desire in our lives. And worse is when those areas become a playground for people that seek to harm our families. And it's only when you or someone you love goes through a horrible, traumatic experience in those areas that you then realize that gentrification is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, even though we all know that it comes at a high cost, a financial cost that most of us cannot afford. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Was I on the money, or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler.